In this video, we will take a closer look at some tips and tricks regarding roof plans and how to easily extract our values and details. Let's start with a standard roof plan drawing. One suggestion is to observe that the drawing may show different roof slopes in different sections. In this case, it's easier to measure them in the sections according to the drawing. We start by measuring our first area. And on the right hand side you can find a button which says angles. And here we can actually see on the area that we're going to check in the net area and press in the angle, which is 3 degrees on this one. Set the angle, and if we look further down, the values or the correct value is going to be displayed in the net values. So we continue with the next one. And observe here as well that we have another angle. So we need to click the net area again, 45 degrees, set the angle, and the right measurement is going to be displayed over here. At the same time, in the drawing like this, there might be some roof safety features or other elements that or details that we want to include, such as the smoke hatch over here on the left hand side. So we can add that with a point and add a name as well. And this is so we can add this to our calculations later. There might also be other metal details like valleys or snow guards along the edges of the building. And that you can also make as well with the line tool. To make this even clearer, we can go on the right hand side and turn on the labels. So even show it so we can actually see exactly where it is and what material is on the drawing. We can also take the opportunity here to measure the downspouts or gutters. But in this case we're going to leave it here and we're going to move over to an elevation drawing instead. In this case, with this type of drawing, here are some other things that you need to keep in mind when you want to measure our roof surfaces. We can always perform an area measurement over the whole roof. And then we can go over to the right hand side and set the angle. But when viewing a drawing from an elevation, we need to determine the angle since we don't have that information here. So here's a little trick that you could use the line measurements to do. So if I go on the other side and actually hold down Shift to make a perfect triangle, we have the degree standing over here. So now when we know the degree, we can now add the angle to get the right measurement in the net values. So once we have identified the right angle, if you have the problem to find where you activate this feature, you need to go down on Settings, Estimate, and here we have angle markers. You can also choose to increase or decrease the size. And now back to the drawing. Just like I said earlier, we need to determine or reverse the angle. So when we have an angle or want to add an angle on an elevation drawing, you should always start from 90 degrees, then subtract the existing angles value. So in this case, we need to press in the net area. Now we have 90 and subtract the 34.1. Or we can actually say it's 34. And here we go, we can put in 55 degrees. And there we have the correct value from an elevation. Another useful trick in this type of drawings is that we can also use the line tool and, for example, measure this length over here. And here we already made a line in an angle, so we don't need to apply anything further. What we need to use instead is the height. So the height doesn't necessarily have to go upwards, it could be inwards in this drawing as well. So it's the length times the height. And if we go back and looking at the last area we did, we have an extra value up here which says number 4. And if I scroll down and press the length, we can see that it's 19.3 meters long up here. So this section up here. If we go back to the previous line here, we can then add in the height 19.03. And there we have the correct value for the roof. As we said before, we can also take this opportunity to measure other details in the same drawing. For example, snow guards or other metal details or roof safety systems. And what I would do now is I've already pre-made some formulas. So if I select an area tool, I can select a full scale here with all the details in the whole roof system. And that could also be applied on a line tool as well. So we have the same possibilities here. If you're interested in working with these object templates, please feel free to call us. The easiest way to reach out to us is by clicking the support button inside the program and use the chat function. You could also email us, or you have the phone number on our homepage. I wish you the best of luck.